It's me again, creating a custom welcome series. Thank you for tuning in. If this is the first time you're watching the channel, amazing. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create a custom welcome series within Klaviyo to ensure that pretty much everybody gets a custom version of your welcome series based off of what they tell you in the sign up form. Look at my hands move. This is how you know it's going to be a complex topic. I'm going to run you through exactly how to actually tag profile properties to make sure that you can use those tags to send people down different splits within the welcome series to ensure that your messaging is on point relative to what the person says they're interested in. For example, if they tell you they like hats, send them down a welcome series that talks about hats. If they tell you that they like shirts, let's create a version of the welcome series that talks about shirts. Let's get into it. What this does is it actually, I think, increases the engagement rates from the data that I've seen, and also really just speaks to individuals as individuals, because that's what Western civilization is built on. The individual, screw everyone else. Anyway, let's do it. My name's Gavin. I run an email and SMS marketing agency. If you ever need help with email and SMS marketing, chuck your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel. I make 3 videos like this every single week. This is all I do. And obviously check out the newsletter. Description of this video has a way to get in touch with me, book some time to talk about email marketing, and I've got a whole bunch of digital products that I have to sell as well. So check those out. Let's get into it. Hello, now I'm on the small screen. Thank you for staying on board. If you're still seeing me talk, I'm flattered. Now, this is how you actually create custom profile properties in your sign-up forms, which you can then send people down curated paths and welcome series. This might sound confusing at the start. Stick with me. I swear to God, it's going to be worth it. So, in the sign-up form stage, what you do, and I'm going to show you an actual version in Klaviyo in a second, but this is an example of a sign-up form. We have our 15% off. We only ask for their email address, nice and easy. After they enter their email address in the sign-up form stage, okay, we then make sure this adds them to a list, okay, but then we have a second step. In this step here, we ask people what they're interested in. Now, for the case of this client here in this business, we're only asking them if they're interested in t-shirts, outerwear, hats, or everything, okay? Now, depending on what button they click, it'll tag their profile property. And I'll show you how to do this. We then use that tag to send people down different paths in the welcome series, and I'm also going to show you how to do that in a second. But within the sign-up form, what I like to do is I like to ask people what they're interested in, right? Or what problem they're trying to solve, so that we can curate the welcome series to send people down different pathways in that welcome series based off of the profile property tag that they have. So take a look at this. What are you most interested in? T-shirts, outerwear, hats, everything. Let me show you how we translate that into a sign-up form perspective within Klaviyo. So here's the sign-up form in Klaviyo. It is currently live. We go here, take 15% off with your first order, email address. You can see here when they hit enter, it goes submit to a list. We're submitting it to the all list. And then it goes show next step. Okay? When they go to the next step, then they have buttons, okay, that do the following thing. The button is a submit form action, okay? And it shows the next step after they click it, but then it goes submit hidden fields. This is where it gets really important. Submit hidden fields. And you click add property, and we've already got it here. We're going to call this property interest category. You can create a new one. We've already got it here. We've got interest category. And then the value is what they've told us they're interested in, which in this case is t-shirts. We do the same thing for every button. See, interest category, but the value is outerwear. So the profile property is the profile property, and the value is the value within that profile property. I'm going to show you how we use this information in the flow in a second. But you just want to be making sure that you are adding a profile property and tagging people with a value when they click that button. So this will let you know, because they'll have the tag, who has told you what they're interested in. Now, we can do this for a whole range of things. If you're in a supplement space, you can say, hey, what problem are you trying to solve? What matters most to you about your purchase? And then you can write emails curated based off of these responses. When they go to the next step, obviously you give them the success code, you give them the discount code, and you just make sure that you give it to them on the sign up form. You don't want to have to force them into your welcome series to get the discount code. That'll help increase your on-site conversions, by the way. But let's go into the welcome series now, and I'll show you how we're using these tags here to send people down different paths in the welcome series. This is how you create custom journeys. God, we're so smart. So they go into the welcome series because they're added to the list, okay? And then what we can see here is we have conditional splits in the welcome series. Now you can put these wherever you want. We do it at the tail end of the welcome series because really all we're trying to do in the initial stages here is get that discount code in front of them to make sure we get as much purchasing as possible within that first 72-hour periods. We have an email 15% off discount code. 12 hours later, we give them another discount code. By the way, don't be afraid of stuffing your welcome series aggressively in the first 72-hour period. All we see is an increase in conversion rates when we reiterate the discount code as many times as possible, and we don't see an increase in unsubscribe rates. Cool. So take a look at this. This is what we do. We have a conditional split here that splits people based off of their interest category equaling a certain value. So let me show you how we would do that as an example. Remember, we've tagged profile properties, right? Keep in mind, you have to have tags already assigned to people for Klaviyo to auto pull these properties into its flows. We already have people who've selected this stuff, so we can already auto pull it. But we go conditional split, we go properties about somebody, we type in interest category because that's the tag that we've created, equals everything hat, outerwear, shirts. And what that allows us to do is then based off what they've told us, we send them down different paths in the flow. And take a look at this. If they've told us they're interested in t-shirts, we then send them an email that focuses purely on t-shirts. If they've told us they're interested in outerwear, we send them an email that focuses purely on outerwear. Same again for hats, same again for everything. And we send them specific emails related to the product they told us that they are interested in. This is how you create curated welcome series based off of what the person has told you in the sign-up form process. Now, it's really important to note, not everybody is going to select this or enter this information. Also, there's a chance that people come into your welcome series from other places, i.e. the checkout page, they don't place an order, or anything like that. That is okay. What I like to do, because keep in mind these conditional splits, they act through a process of elimination. So when you have the t-shirt, outerwear, hats, if they don't equal this, they go to the next one. If they don't equal this, they go to the next one. If they don't equal this, they go to the next one. In this case, if they haven't hit t-shirts, outerwear, and hats, by process of elimination, we know two things. Either the person has said that they're interested in everything, or they haven't told us what they're interested in. And so what we do is we make this final split right here an email that either focuses on everything or is more generic. And so this email here, 4A, is written in a way that it focuses on everything in the store because we know they haven't told us what they're interested in, so we want to make it like a catch-all email, or they've told us they're interested in everything. Now you can do it another way too. Let's assume that we got rid of everything. We would just have, for example, these three. We would still have this email 4 in here because we want a catch-all, i.e. a split or an email that goes to people who don't match any of these collections, which is why you're seeing a big chunk of people, 59, go to this last step here because they haven't matched any of the preceding collections or categories. I hope that makes sense. You can literally do this for any single flow, by the way. You could create a browse abandon and create conditional splits based off their interest category as well, and have emails that remind them of the item they left behind, but also curate a pathway that says, hey, we noticed you left behind dynamic product block, but we also noticed you told us you're interested in hats. Here's some of our best-selling hats. This works really well if you have a lot of traffic. This account here is more for illustrative purposes, but if you have a lot of traffic, these small adjustments where you start making little cool things from a personalization perspective do pay off in the long run, especially if you extrapolate it over a year, 2 years. And really, if you build flows in the right way, you only have to build them once, you know, and they should last you for about 3 years into the future. At least that's how we try and build the flows at Inbox, which is my email marketing agency. So if you need a hand with email and SMS marketing, what a beautiful dovetail. Let me know. Comment down below in the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my newsletter as well in the description of this video. I've got a bunch of resources down there as well. I post 3 videos every single week focusing on email and SMS marketing. So if you have any questions, and if you have a yearning for more email and SMS marketing knowledge, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video, which, if you're watching this right now, probably is going to come out in about 2 days, because we have videos coming out every single 2 days. Thanks for watching.